now they see me out in public and be known what my name is. All these rappers want the clout and the life of being famous. I just wanna be stable, tell my family we made it. I was coming for my spot, a young had to be patient. Now I'm running up, these bands can hit the island for vacation. I've been know my haters, you could say I'm constipated. 5 racks on his fit, just a stunt while I'm in Vegas. On my body, shout out to my Caleb Young. Got the cake up, now he's on a data. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights I just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Johnson, and the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Again, it's Johnson.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3rd and long here for Rosen. He sets to fire deep. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. A really nice gain of 25 yards. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Bryant's extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They go to Johnson again. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. Now Rosen. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Here's Andy Lee now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On second down, here's Fournette. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Garoppolo now. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a 1st down. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Now Rosen to throw on second down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. From the gun on third down, it's Rosen. And the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. On first down. He's going to fire one deep over the... Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. They give him a gain of 38. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard that time, second and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there.
Move it up, fellas. 65, 65.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on second and goal.
21.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. And that is incomplete. It was a safety, Kevin Byard, that time, who was able to knock it away.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Here's Fournette. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go.
On second down, here's Rosen. Going deep downfield for Ross. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein good with a PAT. And that'll make our score 14-7. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And out now come the Vikings. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
I got you. Two.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Again, it's Fournette. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On 3rd down, Fournette. Fournette fighting through, and he is out of bounds inside the 35. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Morris Claiborne, the former #1 pick of the Cowboys there defensively.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
The pitch to Fournette. And some room to work. Fournette fighting through. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
How about the defense not hanging their heads from the previous play where they were beat for a big run, came back on the very next down, and made a play defensively that was to their credit.
Hey, come on. 12.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Throwing now, Rosen on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Play action, Garoppolo. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
12.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Carlos Dunlap. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Gun! Set! Blue 90!
On second down, Rosen. And he's going to go down again.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Here's Rosen to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Here's Garoppolo on first and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about it. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 25. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. They begin with a run by Fournette. Fournette fighting through, and they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Here we go. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hey, gun.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Garoppolo now, 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a first and 10. Garoppolo now, first down throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. To throw is Garoppolo. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And now the Packers going to take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
11. Here we go.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. On play action, now Garoppolo. And that is going to be incomplete. It was a safety, Kevin Byard, that time, who was able to knock it away. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now it's Rosen. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Devon Kennard in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Gone! Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Third and long here for Rosen. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Here's Andy Lee now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
They go play action here on 1st down. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Domata with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Here's a give to Fournette. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well, as we are back and underway for the second half. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Fournette, a first down carry. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Over the middle, Dorsett. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
11.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. There's a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Domatapeco in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They'll toss it to Fournette. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
3 down.
On first down, it's Rosen. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get it.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Dancing to his left. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here we go. 65.
Fournette on the toss to the right. Able to avoid him. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Boy, not deterred from those first 2 failed attempts. They're going to go a third time here on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him for his second sack of the night. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. On second down, Johnson. And some space here. And he'll be taken down at the 18. They don't get it all back there, but they do get 8. And it sets up a 3rd and 15.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. Going up top. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 42. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 40 yards from Viking territory now. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Rosen on 1st and 10. Caught left side by Cobb. The 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. He got 29 yards that time.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball will get all the credit, but how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now a handoff, Johnson. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And that is going to be incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Eli Apple up from his corner spot to make the play. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And Jones has it over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Garoppolo now. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. They'll go with a big back Fournette. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
Well, I'll tell you, this guy's had a monster game on the ground. So if you're going to go for it on 4th and short, it can't be any secret who's going to get the ball. And sure enough, he's going to add to his total here as they pick up the first down.
And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the 1 in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and when we talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders about how to stay in the moment, stay focused on the task.
And he's got him in the driver's seat here in the 4th quarter. Fournette on the counter, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. A handoff to Fournette, and he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th, and that will force a turnover on downs. Now Rosen on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They go play action. It's Rosen. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go. Detroit! Green, 39! Green, 39!
Here we go. It's Rosen on 4th down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off inside the 10. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is caught at the 20. A big play there for Minnesota. 49 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Garoppolo. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And some room to maneuver. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. A first down carry here for Johnson. Room here to run. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this.
Leopard! Leopard! 4 down! Leopard!
They'll hand it off now. Johnson.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Being chased out left. And he's got room. Space to run past the 20. And down to the 7-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
Yeah, the rookie's going to learn as he goes.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Hurry up, here we go. Detroit! Detroit! Blue 90!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Steps away to his left. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back.
21, here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Morris Claiborne, the former #1 pick of the Cowboys there defensively. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals.